bags, and on this channel we make tons of bags, from purses to tote bags to wallets, even to Bible bags. So our newest creation, one of our newest bags, have been a Bible bag. And on the video, when I made the video, it is kind of set up a little quick. A lot of times I make it and show the steps, but I assume that you can sew a little bit, and I apologize for that because there are beginner sewers who do watch this channel and want to learn how to do things. So in this video, we're gonna make the Bible bag, but I'm gonna slow it down a little bit and take you step by step and show you how to make this bag. I just want to say thank you to all of you, from the beginner to the advanced sewer, who watch this channel, who subscribe and love the ideas that I create and try to actually make the bags that I create. So I do appreciate you. Thank you so much. We'll have these Bible bags available in my Etsy shop and on my website. So if you're not into sewing and you don't want to sew, but you like a Bible bag, or you just got a new Bible and you want to put it in something gorgeous, you can purchase the Bible bags from my Etsy shop, like I said, and from my website. So let's get into making the So Girly Bible bag. So a lot of times when I create a new bag, I use, honestly, some of my daughter's folders. That's my daughter Soleil. She goes to LSU. Go Tigers. And she has some folders in her room. So what I do is I just take her folders and I measure on the folders the pattern. I just make the pattern based off of what I think the measurement should be. For the Bible bag, these are the measurements. So for the front and back panel, it's going to be 8.5 by 11. So if you have cardstock, or if you have folders like I use my daughter's folders, you can just go ahead and cut out 8.5 by 11. This is going to be for the front and the back. The pocket on the front, I have 8.5 by 9. So this is going to be the part below the zipper. Above the zipper, all you need is just a little strip. This is 2 inches by 8.5 inches. So this is going to be the trim to the back slip pocket, and it's also going to be the trim to the top of the front zipper pocket. The zipper gusset strips. So this is going to be the strips that's going to go along each side of the zipper. It's going to be 2 inches by 16 inches. That's going to go on each side of the zipper. And the zipper gusset at the bottom, this is going to be 4 by 19. So this is going to be for the bottom of the zipper gusset. Now that we have all of our pieces cut out, you can go ahead and transfer your patterns onto your fabric. I had a request from someone in the comments who just wanted to make one without the quilting process. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make this Bible bag without the quilting. It's just going to be fabric, fusible fleece, couple zippers, and we're done. So we're going to take the front and back panel. You can put these measurements directly onto the fabric. You really don't need to make a pattern, but because I sell these in my Etsy store and on my website, I like to just go ahead and put these measurements on something, a piece of cardboard, cardstock, a folder, just something where you can easily just put this on top of your fabric, cut around it, or draw around it, and then cut the pieces out. So that makes it really, really easy. So we're gonna go ahead and grab some fabric. So this is the fabric that we're gonna use. This is canvas fabric from Joann's. I'm gonna use this for the front and back panels. So I'm gonna go ahead and fold it in half with the right side facing. And make sure your raw edges meet up. And I'm gonna cut out the front and back panels using our pattern piece. If you don't have your pattern piece, that's fine. You can just go ahead and take your ruler and just measure 8.5 by 11 onto your fabric. So if you don't have anything cut out like this, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. I'll just show you what I usually do before I make a pattern. I just take my ruler And I just start to draw 8.5 by 11. I did the 11 inches first. And then I'm gonna come down 8.5 inches. Made 2 marks at the 8.5 inch measurement, and then I'm gonna draw another line at the bottom for 11, and then I'm gonna go ahead and connect those lines. So usually I stick a little pin in the fabric just to kind of keep both layers together. We're gonna go ahead and cut those 2 pieces out. You can use a rotary cutter and your ruler. If you're new to sewing, cutting it out with scissors may be a little bit easier for you. So this is all about showing you some techniques that are not so advanced. So you can just use some scissors and cut along the markings that you've drawn on your fabric. So now you have your 2 panels, front and back. Now you do see a little bit of the raw edge of my fabric, but that's gonna get enclosed in the seam when we start sewing, so it's not really a big deal. Once you cut out your fabric, you wanna make sure you iron your fabric. And I'm gonna press it just to get the wrinkles out. So this is what we're gonna do. You're gonna take a little bit of fusible fleece. And instead, I like fusible fleece. It just adds a little bit of structure, thickness, padding. I just love this stuff. I mean, I don't use many other types of interfacing other than fusible fleece. We're gonna fuse this. There's always 2 sides to it. One side's kind of rough, that has the adhesive on it, and the other side's just kind of soft. So that's the side that's gonna not be facing the fabric. So we're gonna go ahead and cut out, if these 2 are 8.5 by 11, our fusible fleece can be 7.5 by 10, because we want to leave maybe about a 1/2 inch out of the seam allowance just to eliminate some of the bulk when you're sewing. Because if you have the fusible fleece all the way to the edge of the material, it's gonna make it a little thick when you get ready to sew. And when you're turning the project inside out, it can make it just a little bit difficult. So what I'm gonna do is take my ruler and we're gonna measure 7.5 by 10, which is 1 inch smaller on each side. This is all I got left of my fusible fleece. So we're gonna try to make this work the best way we can. And this doesn't have to be all that perfect. You just want to make sure you cut out 1 inch smaller to fuse to the back sides of your main panels. So we're going to cut that out. Take your scissors and cut out your fusible fleece. We're going to take our 2 main panels, place your fusible fleece on top with the adhesive side facing the back side of your material. Center it on both pieces. All right. So now this is what you should have: soft side, rough side facing the back side of your main panel. And what we're gonna do is face this onto your ironing board, face down. So now have your fleece fused to the back side of your fabric, do it to the other piece. A lot of sewing takes a little bit of patience. It just takes time to do things. You can't really rush through sewing because then you'll mess up. So you just have to take your time and just do things the right way. It's a lot easier when you have all your pieces cut out in the beginning, because then you can just sew it all together without having to cut your pieces as you go along. Either way, I mean, you can cut it all out at first and have it all ready to sew, or you can just go along like I'm doing now. So we have our front and back pieces cut out. So we're gonna put one piece aside. I'm gonna use this piece as the front panel. And now we're gonna cut out the front pocket. So what I'm gonna do is use some of this fabric that I have with the Bible verses on it. It's in black and white also, so that might look cool with the polka dots. Who knows, we'll see. But I'm gonna go ahead and cut out the front pocket. So let's go ahead and get our front pocket piece, or instead of using the pieces that we already cut out, we can just see what the measurements are. So for the front pocket, 8.5 by 9. Now that we have that drawn, we're gonna go ahead and cut out our front pocket. If you have a fabric that has a pattern on it or words on it, you just wanna make sure you're not sewing that piece on with the pattern in the wrong direction or your words upside down. I do that a lot, so I'm not gonna lie. I make a lot of mistakes with sewing, but it's all a part of learning. It's a lot easier if you're a more advanced sewer to use a rotary cutter, but right now I'm just showing you guys the basics. So we're just gonna use a ruler and some scissors. This is my favorite rotary cutter. So you can find this mat at Walmart. It also comes with a few rulers. It's like a little sewing kit. And it also comes with a couple of more square shaped rulers, which are pretty cool because they're already square shaped. So we could have used that for some of this with cutting out the pockets. But this is my favorite rotary cutter. It is by Sewology. I got it from Hobby Lobby. So yeah, this is my rotary. I love it. But for today, we are going to use scissors and a ruler. All right, so now we have our front pocket piece cut out. We also need a little bit for the lining. So I'm gonna cut out the same size as that for the lining. So I'm gonna use more of this canvas. It's a little thicker, so if I run out of fusible fleece, it's okay because I do have this canvas material, which is a little bit thicker, so it will provide structure to the bag. But if you don't have fusible fleece, thick material is awesome. If you do have fusible fleece, you can go ahead and put that on the back sides of all your pieces, and it's gonna really make your bag have a lot of structure and hold its shape really well. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pin this onto the top of my lining piece, and I'm just gonna go ahead and cut that out. Remember, this piece is 8.5 by 9. I do have a little trash can that I use to catch all of my thread and little pieces of fabric like this. This is what I use to catch my thread. But I took the inside out of it. It belongs in there, it has a little, ooh, isn't that cute? And you guys know I love pink, so this was perfect. So I just used this part. It's got a little handle. But that's what I use to catch all of my threads. So now we have the front pocket cut out. We're gonna press the fabric. So I'm gonna go ahead and press this, both pieces. And I'm gonna grab what I have left of my fusible fleece. But what I'm gonna do Let's just make it work. This is the lining. I'm gonna use this as the front. So I'm gonna put a piece on here. Once again, you wanna cut out, if this piece is 8.5 by 9, cut out a piece of fusible fleece that's 7.5 by 8. So I'm just gonna eyeball it because all I have is scraps left. But cut out a piece of fusible fleece that's 7.5 by 8 and fuse it to the back of this front pocket piece. But I'm gonna iron that right now and fuse it together to the back of this front pocket piece. So now you have your fusible fleece onto your front pocket piece. And you also have your lining piece. So what we're gonna do is make the front zipper pocket that's gonna go on the front panel, the front main panel. So you're gonna take your lining piece, and I use zipper by the yard, but if you have a zipper that's longer than 8.5 inches, maybe you have a 9-inch zipper, a 10-inch zipper, just something a little bit longer than this. So, all right, so this is zipper by the yard. I got this from Amazon. It comes with all different colors of zipper, and it also comes with the zipper pull. What we're gonna do is just cut enough of zipper longer than 8.5 inches, maybe leave an inch on each side. I'm gonna cut it an inch longer on each side. We're gonna separate it a little bit. So take your zipper, if you have this. If you don't have this, then you can just use a regular zipper, a zipper that you don't have to cut. It's already gonna have the zipper pull attached to it, but I don't have a regular zipper, so I'm just gonna use this. Okay, so as long as you have a zipper that's longer than 8.5 inches, or you can cut zipper by the yard. So I'm gonna separate it a little bit. One side of it, I'm gonna go ahead and just cut a little bit of the teeth off, maybe about 1/4 of an inch. Just cut a little bit of the teeth off. Cut the zipper tape about 1/4 of an inch. I don't know if you can see that. I'm cutting the zipper tape off, which is leaving a little bit of the zipper teeth on there. So cut that. Cut the teeth off, not the tape. And then we're gonna attach the zipper. I'm gonna put the zipper in with the pointy side down on the longer end that I didn't cut. And then I'm gonna go ahead and open the zipper a little bit and push the other side in the other hole on the other side of the zipper. And usually what I do is grab both ends and pull. Grab both ends at the top and pull, and then separate the other end. Okay, so now you have your zipper pull attached. If you already have a zipper with the zipper pull on it, that's great. You didn't have to do that stuff. All right, so now we're gonna take our lining piece, place your zipper on top of it. I'm gonna place my zipper facing with the zipper pull going from the left to right to open. You wanna face it right side up on top of your lining piece. And then you're gonna take your front pocket piece. Make sure your words, if you have a print or words, is going down like this, and you're gonna place it down over the lining piece. Sandwich the zipper in between. Now you're gonna take some clips or pins, whatever you like. I use these little clips right here. I got these from Joann's. And all you want to do is just clip them together. Clip all 3 layers together. The zipper in between the front and back panel. And since I used a purple zipper, I think I'm gonna use purple thread. That might look really pretty with the black and white. And I always make my zipper tape just a little bit, cut my zipper just a little bit longer than the front and back panel, so that way I could pull the zipper pull out of the way. Because when you're sewing, you really kind of don't want to have to move that zipper pull while you're sewing. So I just have it already out of the way. And then if you want to, you can add a clip to the end of this, just so the zipper pull doesn't come completely off. Alright, so now that you have all 3 layers sandwiched in between, if you fold it back this way, this is how it's going to look. So you're going to close the zipper to the right and open it to the left. So what you want to do is grab your sewing machine, and you want to use your zipper foot. So every sewing machine comes with a zipper foot. So this is your zipper foot. So we're going to use this and change your regular foot to your zipper foot. I'm going to change to this purple thread. I'm going to put my thread in the top part of my sewing machine. I'm going to thread my machine. And now we're ready to sew. So I'm gonna use this lever to change over to my zipper foot. So now we're gonna place our panel that we clipped together on the sewing machine. Move the zipper pull out of the way. Place your piece, move your clips if you have to onto the sewing machine. And what you wanna do is put your lever down, and you want to make sure that the tip of your zipper foot fits flush up against the zipper teeth. So that way when you're sewing, you can sew as close to the zipper teeth as you possibly can. We're going to back stitch a few stitches and then go forward. So I use the dial on the side to place my needle into the material. Move your thread out of the way. And then we're gonna go forward, 1, 2, then I'm gonna go back, 1, 2. And then now we're gonna go forward again. Back stitch at the end, go forward, just to lock in your stitches. Lift your lever. Cut off any excess thread. All right, so now we have our zipper sewn to our lining and our front pocket piece. So what we're gonna do is flip it open, and this is what you should have now. So you wanna go ahead and pull everything nice and tight. Make sure everything meets up nice and even. And I'm gonna stick a few pins right about a 1/2 inch away from where we're gonna top stitch, right below the zipper teeth. Just like this. Now we're gonna top stitch right an 1/8 inch away from the top of the pocket panel. So you can leave your zipper foot on. Move the zipper pull out of the way, underneath your needle. Place your needle down. You can hold your thread in the back. Place your needle down into the fabric. Sew forward a couple stitches. Sew back. And then go forward again. About an 1/8 inch away, an 1/8 of an inch away from the top of the fabric. Go slow if you need to. You can cut your thread. Alrighty. And this is what you have. I'm gonna go ahead and use my bag tag and iron it onto the front layer of the front pocket. I'm gonna center it. Right in the center of the front pocket. Since this is 8.5 inches, I'm gonna center it right in the middle of about 4 inches. Whatever you want on your bag tag. Like I said, I got mine from Etsy. I love Etsy. I sell my products on Etsy. So you can just shop around. Just type in bag tag and you'll find a whole slew of different kinds. There's leather ones, metal ones, cotton ones, fusible ones you gotta sew on, whatever you want. So, and you can put your bag tag on before you sew this piece to the zipper, but you just want to make sure you do it before you put the whole bag together. Because I've definitely done that before, like, oh man, now I can't put my bag tag on. But I put it about 1.5 inches away from the bottom. You can put it wherever you want it to go, but this just works for me. Cut off your thread, excess thread. All right. We have our bag tag stitched down and it looks like this. So now we can go ahead and work on constructing the top of the piece that's gonna go above the zipper before we stick it onto the front of the front panel piece. Use a little bit of the same fabric and above the zipper. And so if you have cut out the pieces first, all you need to do is just take your piece, pin it onto the fabric, and then just cut around it. I'm gonna give it a little press. Now what we're gonna do is fold it in half and press it again, like this. Then we're gonna fold each side, each edge to the center line. So now you have a middle crease from pressing it in half. So we're gonna take it and fold one side into the center line, fold the other side into the center line, and then press it again. Something that looks like this. So now what you're gonna do is fold it in half again. So now you have both edges folded to the center line. So now you're gonna fold it in half and press. A lot of these same techniques I use in most of the bags that I make. So you can just use these same techniques over and over and over again. This piece that I use on top of the zipper, I use for a lot of projects. So that same folding technique, that's what you're gonna use in a lot of things, you know, so just remember how to do that. Attaching the zipper. A lot of my pockets, I do it the exact same way. So this is how you attach the zipper. You use your lining piece, put the zipper on top, face your front panel face down over the zipper, and then sew the zipper on. So a lot of these techniques you're going to use, like I said, in each of the videos that we make projects on. So just take your time and try them over and over and over again until you get better at it. All right, so now we have, so I'm going to take it and place it right above this zipper, on top of the zipper tape. Make sure it's even with the edges. On top of the zipper tape, and I'm going to clip it in place. Just use some of your clips, or if you have pins, but I have clips, so I'm going to use these clips. Just make sure this piece touches the zipper tape. Alright, so this is what you're going to have. This is going to be right above my zipper foot. I'm going to take my normal foot off, change to the zipper foot. Always have your project facing, most of your project to the left side. Alright, so now we have that on. I'm going to take our front panel and place this pocket right along where the bottoms, make the bottoms meet up. And you're going to go ahead and pin this in place. Alright, so now what we're going to do is go ahead and sew about 1/8 of an inch top stitch right along the top of this pocket. I'm going to change back to my regular presser foot. Cut off your excess thread. Now I'm going to open the zipper because you don't want to make sure you sew down the side with the zipper pull on the outside of the seam. So I made sure the zipper pull is towards the middle, and now I'm just going to go down the side of this panel. Your panel is completely sewn, and now you can just cut off about 1/4 of an inch of the excess off the edge. This is your front panel completely done. Cute. Now we're going to work on the back panel. So you're going to take your back panel. I'm going to set the front panel aside for a minute. And you can use the same piece that you use for the back, for the front, for the back. So you're going to go ahead and cut out your lining. You can lay both lining and outer fabrics together if you need to, just to make it easy to cut out, one on top of the other. gonna go ahead and cut these 2 pieces out. All right, so now you have the back pocket completed. You can cut out another strip for the pocket trim. Now you have your trim for your back pocket, and you have your front and back pockets. Okay, so now this is gonna be my outer layer. This is gonna be my lining piece. So what I'm gonna do is take both of these. I'm gonna place the lining piece face down, right sides down, and I'm gonna take my front pocket piece and face it up. You can line the back side of this pocket with a little bit of fusible fleece if you have some. Just I'm gonna line the back side with a little bit that I have left. All nice and fused with a little bit of fusible fleece. We're gonna place it right side up on top of the lining piece. And then you're gonna take your trim piece and you're gonna face it face down. I'm gonna go upside down because my words, I want them to show. So on the right way. So I'm gonna face this with my words upside down on top of the front pocket piece, right along the top edge. You're gonna pin it or clip it in place. What we're gonna do is sew across this top piece with about a 1/2 inch seam allowance. With your material face towards the front side of your line of your outer fabric, and what you want to do is just take it and roll, lay your pocket piece down with your lining fabric up, fold it in half, the little strip on top of the pocket piece, and then you're going to fold it over the pocket panel, covering up the seam, the stitches that you just created. Pin it in place. And we're gonna go from the front of the fabric and sew about 1/8 of an inch from the seam line where you've already sewn. This is what you should have. So we're gonna take the back panel, place your pocket along the back side. Make sure everything lines up evenly. And we're gonna sew down the left and right sides. Back, you can add a snap closure here if you want to, but if you're a beginner and you don't own one of these contraptions right here, it's a snap press. You can use this to put snaps on, rivets, all sorts of things. They come with these little removable pieces depending on, you know, what type of hardware you're using, what size it is. These pieces can be changed out. I got this one from Etsy from a shop, and you just type in snap presses and it's gonna come up with a whole bunch of different ones. So if you're gonna be a bag maker and you like making bags, you definitely wanna own one of these. It makes it so easy to add the hardware to your bags. So for the sake of this project, trying to still be a beginner project, we're gonna leave all the hardware off of it. job, guys, getting there. We got the front and back panels completed. Front zipper panel, back slip pocket panel, and now we're gonna just add the straps to the top of this. This is just a little bit of cotton webbing. You can get this at Joann's. Cut 10-inch pieces. And I'm gonna come in maybe about 2 inches and pin or clip. I left maybe about a 1/2 inch. And all you're gonna do is just take your strap, bring it around 2 inches from the other side. So this is what you should have now. So about 1.5 inches from each side. And we're gonna sew across each top of the strap. Make sure your strap is not twisted in any way. If I was to rotate this strap a little bit so I can hold the bag up, nothing's twisted, but I do have it twisted this way right now. So we're gonna go ahead and just sew across the top. Cut off any excess pieces to even everything out. Alrighty, so now you have the strap to your Bible bag. So now what you can do is use this panel. You can place your other panel on top. Take your other strap and just hold it up and look to see where you put this strap, just to make it easy, to make it even as well. Leave about a 1/2 inch. Clip it in place and bring your strap around to the other side. Clip it in place. Let's take a look at them just to make sure they look even. Your front and back panels done. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna cut 2 pieces for the inside lining, which is gonna cover up this these raw insides. So let's go ahead and do that, and then that's where we're gonna stop for today. Go ahead and cut out 2 pieces at once. Place them right sides down. I'm gonna put one panel on top and then place the front panel on top. Make sure all your edges meet up evenly. All right, so now we've got the back side to our front and back panels. So we're just gonna sew around all 4 sides. That's really it. Sew around all 4 sides. the other side. And the other panel is complete. So now we have the front and back panels to our Bible bag. We're gonna slow it down sometimes just a little bit to make sure we all learn, from beginners to intermediate and advanced sewers, just to make sure everybody can learn something from these projects. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and we're gonna finish our Bible bag in the next video. I'll see you there.